It is maybe in the 40s today, but it's going to be in the 30s most of the day, most of tomorrow. I'm really hoping that we don't have a freeze or a frost tonight, because we are facing what could potentially be our most fruitful year here at the Abundant Harvest Homestead, and that's really exciting for me. If you guys have noticed, there haven't been many videos coming out lately. Recently it's been either trying to record with this GoPro or trying to record with my phone. They both present their issues, but my main camera is broken right now, so that's kind of setting us back. But we've been doing a lot of grafting. First graft I did was actually on a tree over there. When I grafted it, it lived up over the hill, and I grafted a scion from a plum we brought down from our native Wisconsin. Found a wild plum here, grafted it into that after we traveled 750 miles with it, and then it sat there for a couple of years till we got property, and then we moved the whole tree onto it. Cool thing is, some of our name brand peaches are actually going to fruit this year, which this is setting more than it has. I think in its entire life I maybe got half a dozen off of this one, and there's one right there we maybe got a half a dozen off of, maybe a couple more off of that one. But it got so ridiculous, I even took some scions. You can see a grafted one here poking out. I took some scions from some we were growing from seed and grafted them on here just to try to make them more fruitful. Now, of course, it'll be another year before they even potentially flower here, and then can cross-pollinate and then whatever. But if they wind up being more fruitful than this one, we'll let these guys run and we'll cut off the main one. But there is some little guys around here. They seem to be doing a little better this year. And thankfully the grafts, this one hasn't poked out yet, but it's green in there. Now here's another one that's poking out. This one I actually think Monster Truck did. I think he did the red ones. And pretty cool. He gets to start grafting at age 12, I guess he is. But that's just another one of the ones from our other trees that were growing from seed that were grafting onto one we bought at the store. And then we have things like this too here, which is, this is an apple. It's an apple we planted. It's got a sucker we're catching in a pot. I already caught one sucker off of it, moved it down to our pasture, and it's got like 6 or 7 different varieties grafted onto it right now. This one, I think actually has over 20 different varieties. Some red-fleshed ones, some heirloom ones, some other ones. Here looks like this one's about to bust through. See that? Other ones still look kind of dormant, so we're gonna see what they do. But I don't mind getting as many different varieties into my hands right now, giving them an opportunity to grow here. Shout out to Three Feathers Farmstead too, because they've helped with helping us get some different varieties. And then hopefully, yeah, that one looks like it's gonna come out. Hopefully we'll see what it takes, and then we'll see what produces well. And as we find out what does best in our area, then we'll propagate those. That's what we'll graft onto other ones. Whatever actually does good. And the stuff that kind of struggles in our area, well, that's for somebody else in some other area. I've been grafting the pawpaws back there. I put 9 different varieties onto 10 of my different trees, but I've got a nice little border of the native gooseberries, and they are flowering hard. It's just a wall of berries that's going to come in there. And these service berries here are doing the same thing. These are so delicious. I want to put in like 100 more plants. But these service berries are flowering, and they're going to go. And these are just some of the little ones. These big ones here are probably 20 feet tall, and they've just gone so hard. If I pull this down, you can probably see that there's going to be a ton of berries here. And it's a little maybe hard to see. At night, out with the flashlight, they all just light up, and it's so beautiful to see all those white flowers against a black sky. But I'm really excited because they're such a tasty food, and it looks like we're gonna have a bunch of them. I think a duck just jumped in the pond. I heard a big splash. Not thinking any other animal would be doing that right now, so I don't think I need to come to the rescue. Yeah, it's a duck. But one cool thing too, I should do a full video on it. These are figs, and what I find is that here, zone 6B, 7A, figs die back to the ground basically every year. And one thing I did here, like that's 8 foot tall right now, and it's green at the tip. There's leaves like crazy, so hopefully we don't get that frost tonight. A lot of these are between like 4 and 8 feet tall. But what I did is I lignified them last year. I actually took all these and I laid them down, put some big flat heavy rocks on top of them, weighing them down to the ground, and then covered them with a pile of leaves. Now the leaves now are here. They're mixed in with a bunch of rotting logs that didn't make it to be firewood. So we're just going to build up some soil here and have this be a great resource for us in the future. But all those leaves and these rocks were weighing these down. So then what happened is I uncovered them and stood them back up in the spring. And I didn't even know about Breba figs. I'm more of a doer, less of a researcher. So I didn't know that Breba figs was a thing. And the Breba crop is figs that they set on the year old, the older wood. And then the main crop comes on the stuff that's going to grow out this year. So on these ones here, it's a Celeste at the end. And then I've still actually got to figure out who these guys are. I think this one's either Magnolia or Olympian. There might be a White Marseilles. I don't know. I've got a list of 5 potentials that these 3 are. I just hopefully will know them by their fruit. But all this growth is what grew up last season. And now this particular one, which I think is either a Magnolia or an Olympian, it's setting Breba figs on that old wood. Now, with them dying back every year, I've never been able to see that because they died back every year. So I never knew that there was some types that would set figs on the old wood. It looks like these other 3 varieties aren't doing that, but that one is. And the interesting thing is that one produced the best for us in a single season, growing from scratch. Some big, juicy, dark figs, very tasty. And I'm looking forward to see what it does this year as it starts out basically 6 feet tall. See what it sets on that new growth this year, since it doesn't have to start from scratch at the soil level. But with both the opportunity of getting a Breba crop off of these and then the brown turkeys up in the main garden, and with starting out with this many varieties this tall, I'm really thinking we're going to have a fruitful year of figs like we've never had. Also now we've got the Russian 26 pomegranates. This one here all the way up to the tip. Nice, but we lignified that. We had that laid down. Had one very comparable to it right next to it, and that one I think died back almost to the ground level. You can see it's got a little green leaf there. But if this is going to be the difference with those pomegranates, if I leave them out, they're going to die back. And if I lignify them, they'll leaf out right away. Then I'm definitely going to be doing that in the future too. I'm looking for a garden plant more than I'm looking for a pet. So I'm not really looking for something I have to take care of like crazy. But that's not much effort to lay them down, put a rock on top of them, cover with leaves, uncover that in the spring, and then stand it back up. Right, Duck? That much I'm willing to do in a year. You like the pond? It's a little fuller than normal. All the rain we've had. Yeah, more gooseberries. Look at how hard those guys are flowering. That's a ton of flowers. That's going to make picking really easy. Oh, I got to harvest the stinging nettle. Gotta harvest that. Here's another apple. I haven't seen any blossoms on this one this year, so we're not going to get any fruit off of it this year. We did get a really tasty one last year, but grafted some more varieties on there too. And one thing I think I am going to, this is cool because this pear tree was bought with one of the first YouTube payouts we ever got. We've never actually tasted a pear from it because the other year, as soon as we finished with the peaches, the squirrels took off the 3 pears that were here. Now this year, I'm thinking with as many as we have setting fruit here, as many as are started and already doing good, I'm thinking this is the year that we get to enjoy that. Yes, ducks, they're all talking at me. So we have just a lot of beautiful ones here on a lot of these branches. We'll see how many make it to being fully developed, but I'm looking very much forward to having a crop of pears from our own property. My wife's actually making some apple cider vinegar right now from a deal we got. She makes pear cider vinegar too. That's absolutely awesome. We got some Shipova. We grafted onto here. Some other varieties, Casper Winter Pear. That's one supposedly, you don't want to eat it when you pick it. You want to wait at least a month. But if you put it in a root cellar, supposedly it can last till the following April. That's pretty cool. So I'll have some to eat fresh from the tree, some to put away in storage, have later. some other varieties on there too, but just kind of mixing up what I have on some of my trees, going with some cross-pollination for a heavier yield, but then also because I want to begin plant breeding on a certain level where hopefully we're developing some new stuff. These guys were also from our first YouTube payout. It was 3 plum trees and 2 pears I bought with that first payout, just to have something to last. And tell you what, the payouts right now are about 1/5 to 1/10 of what they used to be. We had some back in the day where, you know, if you're getting over $1,000 a month off of YouTube as a smaller channel, I thought that was awesome. But it's been probably years since that ever happened. Appreciate you guys. It's your comments, it's your views, it's you guys interacting with us that really encourages us to kind of keep doing this. The financial aspect is not even close to what it used to be. And, you know, people are constantly like, how come your channel doesn't have more viewers? How come they don't notify me? How come this and that? Well, YouTube doesn't like us. We're a guest in somebody else's house. It's amazing because now I guess we're the counter-revolutionaries where you're, or the revolutionaries, the counterculture revolutionaries when you're going to be married and having children in wedlock and having a faith and moving forward with that. Like, I don't know, that wasn't frowned upon when I was a child. As an adult, I guess it is. They have their agendas and goals, we have ours. Ours is fruit. These we picked up with our first YouTube payout. I dropped 2 trees on that one. I think that's an early plum. So it got smashed twice as we were pushing back the forest. And it's, you know, it's struggling because of it, but it does have little fruits on it, you know. So should be able to get some fruit this year. Same thing with these other ones. It didn't flower as hard as it did last year, but at the moment, you know, we still have a harvest coming and there's still gonna be some fruits on here. So pretty cool. Good to see. Super excited about that. Also super excited about, oh yeah, these 2 up here. There's 3 up here. There's stuff going on. I'm so excited. This could be our most fruitful year ever. And it's just getting that return on your investment, you know. I'm here under the trifoliate tree. In fact, did a video a bit ago showing you guys that you could actually just eat like the fruit. I dried up a couple like raisins. And what I did with this is if you cut some off of here, I mean, it's still squishy, but it's pretty firm. But I shaved a little bit off of one with a knife and let my buddy just taste it. And I did the same thing. It's delicious and almost tastes like lemon candy, even at this stage. So basically the fruit from last year that fell, these were still pretty nice looking a bit ago. And I was nibbling on them. Now they're past their prime. But making a dried, like almost raisin or date type thing out of them. And it's tasty. Very cool. And now we still got some flowers happening. But we've also got all sorts of fruit that's setting. And we're going to have an incredible year with this. And, you know, this, the trifoliate orange, the trifoliate citrus, and then also the flying dragon, which is basically the same thing. It's just got a curlier thorn, and it's more zygotic. So less likely to be true to kind, more opportunity to, you know, interbreed, make a hybrid. These work here. So we've made lemonade, we've made key lime pie. I'm apparently enjoying things like dried fruit off of them. What else did we make that was really good? Oh, like a lemon curd substitute off of it. Just incredible. So that's the citrus for our area if it grows unprotected here. Hopefully we'll get some other ones that may do the same thing, but I don't want a pet. I want a plant. I want something I can set it and forget it. Those I think I planted in 2017 or 2018. And they've been going ever since. That's awesome. Just set it and forget it. Reap your harvest every year. I love it. And then here we have our cold hardy kiwi trellis. Now this one also, I did drop trees on it before as I was dropping trees. But what we have happening this year, that's happening on a level we've never had before, is the flowering. So there's a bunch of flower buds. Here you can probably see them against the sky, those little balls. Oh yeah, look at all those little balls. Those are all little flowers. And there are so many little flowers. And if you've not had a cold hardy kiwi, it's basically like a little green grape. But you bite it in half and it's a kiwi. And it tastes like a kiwi and it's excellent, but it doesn't have the fur, you know, like a regular kiwi would. And we don't have any self-fertile varieties, so these require both a male and a female, which we have. And if these work, because sometimes it'll take 8 or 9 years to produce, but if these work, this year it looks like we're going to have a crazy harvest, which should be incredible. I think this is the year. There is just so many flowers getting ready. They're not open yet. And we're praying that it doesn't freeze tonight. We're really hoping that it doesn't, because I would love for these just to all flower and fruit and pollinate, you know, breed and just go. Oh man, it could be cool. It could be exciting. It could happen, and it looks like this is going to be the year. Yeah, you know, here's even more. And who knows what all is going on down there. Probably the same thing. And there's a lot of sunlight up there, and I'm actually expanding this. I should drop my other pole in here, expand it. And then I got some long runners that are leftovers from stuff I was planning for the outdoor kitchen that I'm going to put across up here too, and just get that upper canopy in. But it looks like we're going to have a crazy harvest of those. I waited way too long to put an asparagus bed in. It is going now. We sampled some, but I'm gonna let it go this year and then start really harvesting next year, although there's a lot of them that look amazing. And we did get you know, varieties that have females. Jersey Night is an all-male hybrid, but what I like is seeing the next generation getting started. So there's a lot of little sprouts coming up from seed, because we like seeds. Wow, look at how purple this guy is up here. See that one? That's pretty purple. Look, little baby. A little bigger. I guess somebody planted an onion there. Oh, that's a sweet onion somebody gave us. There's a couple of those in here coming. But I should have done that years ago. When we first bought the property, I wanted to put in a big bed of asparagus and just never got to it. But it's going now. The grapes are looking good. This is my big old muscadine arch. Some of the first welding I ever did in the garden. And they're getting ready to set their little guys. They're gonna go. Look, that'll be 3 clusters right here, and they are so delicious, so tasty. I can't wait. I'm excited. And then the other thing I wanted to show you right away was this. These are the brown turkey figs. You can see there was dieback on the little ones, but we also lignified these and laid these down. So now I'm kind of in the process of trying to get them to stand back up and bend back out and not all be squished in a pile. I may have to tie them back a little bit, but the brown turkey will also set a brabo crop, which I was unaware of because they just died back. There you go. Died back every year. That's kind of super cool too, if you look. Like, here's one that was setting last year, right? Didn't make it to ripening. And it grew all this in 1 year, you know. But then here, look, it's setting 2 of them off of there, 2 of them off of here. Looks like 2 of them off of here. And if it doesn't freeze tonight, which I'm hoping it doesn't, then we should be pretty good. That there is, yeah, everything of 8 feet tall. And I did leave a couple out just to test. You know, this is one I left out. It was the biggest one last year as far as thickness. And it had a bunch. Yeah, you can see there's a dangler. I didn't quite make it. I was just seeing if it was big enough to make it through the winter. And it almost does. It stays to like almost the end of winter, and then it just dies. Now, stem is still green. It'll shoot off some stuff from down there. But that's what happens if we don't cover them here. I wish I would have known about lignifying them earlier. I'm learning as I go. This whole row, I just, you know, stuck little ones in the ground. Boom, they all just started growing, and they've been here ever since. This one I also left out. It too died back. But all the rest of them are starting there. And to me, if they can start from nothing and shoot up and pretty much throw in a crop like they try to, where we can get something to eat from, if I start them like this, it should just be astronomically increased how fruitful we're able to be. So that's just a quick tour of why I think this is going to be our most fruitful year ever. The perennials are just kicking it once again. They're doing their job. They're coming in hard, and then we're grafting like madmen. Well, I am, and my son over here, just getting a bunch of stuff going, and really looking forward to the future here. Bunch of different types of persimmons, bunch of different types of pawpaws, bunch of different types of apples and plums, cherries and pears and peaches and apricots. I'm excited to see what does best, because whatever does best in my area, that's the horse I want to bet on, because with the less you invest, the easier it is to get a really good return on your investment. I'll see you guys next time. Be patient with us as we struggle through making videos right now, but hopefully we'll have some more stuff coming for you in the future. Papa out.